For many projects, recording and playing in time to the tempo grid can be very important. The metronome can help us do that. The metronome on-off controls are in the transport module just to the right of the transport information display. They can be turned on and off during playback. Playback and recording each have their own separate control. Highlighted is on, and when it is on, it will only be heard in real time. It will not be recorded. The default template includes a metronome bus, which allows more control over the metronome than if using the master bus directly. This can be used to mute or solo it, as well as control the level compared to the rest of the mix. There's nothing special about the metronome bus, so if your project doesn't have one, simply insert a stereo bus, name it metronome, and it is then available as an output selection in the Metronome Preferences. To open those preferences, right-click on one of the metronome buttons or press P and select Project, Metronome from the page list. We can set a count-in click prior to recording start, handy for getting the feel of the tempo as well as helping to make sure musicians know when to start playing. The count-in can be measures or beats. Select your choice from the drop-down and set the required number here in the Record Count-in field. Once a value is set here, the count-in will always be heard when pressing record, whether the metronome is turned on for recording or not. Set this to 0 if you do not want that behavior. The playback and recording checkboxes turn the metronome on and off for those transport states and correspond to the controls in the transport bar. The beat subdivision field sets how often non-accented clicks are heard. 1 is in the default, but it can be changed here. Just beneath that is where the metronome type is set. We can use an audio file type or a MIDI note from an external device. The audio options include a choice of various sounds available from the drop-down, as well as a level setting. You can set separate sound for the first beat of every measure to that used by other subdivision beats. The output field sets the bus that the metronome is played back through. By default, this is the metronome bus, but can be changed here. You might prefer it sent directly to one of your audio outs, for example. Use MIDI note allows you to use an external MIDI device to generate the sound. Similar to the audio options, a different note and level can be chosen for the first beat of every measure to that used for the subdivision beats. The default for both is F#1, which is the general MIDI standard for a hi-hat sound, but both note and level can be changed. If you have several devices attached, the output port can be changed. This number corresponds to the list order of devices in the Output section of the MIDI Devices Preferences page. The default output channel is 10, the standard MIDI drum channel, but can be changed here if you wish. The duration field sets the note length used to generate the MIDI sound. The resolution is ticks and default is 6, but can also be changed if you wish. Once the preferences are set how you want them, click on OK, and you're all set to start recording with the metronome as a timing guide.